Hi everyone, this is MakersAsk and I'm Blue Reid, and today I want to talk about a subject that's a little edgier, I guess, and that is artists and depression. That never happens to you, I know, but okay, let's begin with a story. So I was fortunate enough to run into a friend of mine that I haven't seen in over 30 years. That's weird enough, right? But I was like, wow, my God, it's great to see you, and we're talking away, and he asks, is the inevitable, so what are you doing? Well, I'm a professional artist. And without a breath, he goes into, oh my God, you must be so hard to get along with. And then right afterwards, he said, and you probably never sleep. And then, again without a breath, and you probably are really depressed all the time. I was like, this is the perception of people, isn't it? That artists are like that. And I would have to say that wellness and health has been an interest of mine my entire life. And so I do study things like neurology and positive psychology and health and wellness. And there is some data that would show that that we are sort of prone to it. Some of that I think is because we're very emotive, and so we sometimes take on what other people feel. That's true. And the other part is that we spend the bulk of our time in our right brain, which is very restful. It's a very great place. But neurologically speaking, when you're really happy and excited, it's your left frontal lobe that is firing. So if you spend a lot of time over here, you will need to do things to fire up this left frontal lobe. Okay, so then this is where I come into practice. What is your personal practice? What do you do? Or do you just hope to be happy? Because if that's the case, and you're a professional artist or amateur artist or just a really emotional person, which some of us are, you could find yourself pretty bummed out. And if you do, there are things you can do. If I have a bad day, I know what to do to get out of it. There's such a thing as neuroplasticity, which means your brain can learn stuff, right? So if you're programmed and wired for depression and sadness, that's changeable. Your brain is changeable. So how is that done? Tal Ben-Shahar is one of the leading scholars in positive psychology, and he has written a number of books. And if you Google happiness, you can spend the rest of your life reading what people have written about happiness and how to achieve it. And some of the practices that he talks about are things that I do with consciousness every day to keep myself on a plane where I feel great. And that's important to me, because who doesn't want to feel great? Some of it is just common sense, right? Like, you know that you need enough sleep. I go to bed at about 10, get up at about 6 every day, unless there's something really exciting. I eat a plant-based diet, lots and lots of veggies. I work out about an hour every day. I do a lot of juicing, and I meditate. All of these things to bring about as much health and wellness as I can, because otherwise we can get in a place of at least a less optimal place. Okay, I just thought of something else I wanted to say, and this is what I look like after I work out. But it's apropos, because personal practice is just that. It's practice. So you're not allowed to beat yourself up for not being perfect at it. The whole point of it is practice. So there are going to be days when you just can't get to your workout, or there are going to be days when you just don't have time to meditate. I use red lights as a meditation practice. I have coupled that. So just a few deep breaths. But for me, exercise is non-negotiable, like studio time. My happiness is my responsibility, no one else's. I can blame nobody else if I allow something or someone else to usurp that time for me. So I make sure that it's never mind the loudness in the background. I don't know what they're doing over there. Anyways, I just wanted to insert that you're not allowed to use not being perfect at your practice as a club to beat yourself with. This is counterproductive and not what we're looking for. And if you are doing most of these good things every day, then you can get away with not eating perfectly or staying up late one day. It's not going to throw you totally off like it would if you have nothing to fall back on, you know? So let's keep that in mind. So, and even with all of that, I still have days where, you know, I would call it like situational depression, like, God, these could not get worse, you know, and a practice that I find very helpful is to pretend that my emotions are people, and then I just talk to them. I don't stuff it anymore into my liver for, you know, cancer-causing days later, but I let them come up. So, hey, how's it going, frustration? So what have you got to show me today? You know, and maybe it's something like, well, you know, if it was a person, you would say, well, what are you so frustrated about? I really wanted them to call, you know. Oh, did you wanted them to call? I understand that. And so, and then I rationalize or reason with them these emotions. You wanted that person to call. Well, what does it mean when a person doesn't call? It means bad fit, bad timing. Do you really want a person who's a bad fit or it's bad timing to call, whether it's for business or pleasure? Do you really want that? That leads nowhere. It's a waste of time, waste of energy. And once I've rationalized with it, the emotion as a person would just usually kind of go, oh, true. And then it's over, and then it's done. And one other thing that I do is that I realize that emotions are like weather patterns. They can't be stopped, and they come and they go as they please. And I try not to attach too much importance to them. And then they're gone fast. So, you know, if I'm having a bad day today, I know what to do. I go back to, you know, how strong is my practice? Did I meditate today? And did I eat a bunch of junk today? Or, you know, those kinds of things. Make sure your personal practices are really strong, because you'll get the most out of your life, and you'll be a better maker, better artist for it, if you can keep yourself, because you're not motivated to create when you feel like crap, right? So if the interest is in creating the best artwork that you can create and the best life you can create, healthy practice is number one importance. So make sure that you've got a lot of healthy practices. Oh, and they also say that happy people have at least 2 friends. So if you can't do it on your own, pick up the phone and give somebody a call. And, you know, good friends are there for a reason, and you do the same for them. So cultivate that. If you don't have at least 2 really good friends that you can count on, start being the friend you'd like to have to others, and they'll return it. So I'm really fortunate to have amazing friends, and I don't know what I'd do without them. Keep your practices strong and keep doing what you feel called to do. This has been Makers Ask, and I'm Blue.